Welcome back to another dataviz critique from John Schwabish at policyviz.com. I am going to critique my own work in this video. Here, what I'm working on is trying to figure out a better way to plot the difference between, let's say, actual spending and projected spending. So I used to work at the Congressional Budget Office, so this was an issue we had to sort of deal with all the time. We had projected spending, we had actual spending. How do you look at the gap? And this line chart over here on the right, I'm just showing you everything in Excel. It's just a little bit faster as I'm just playing around. You know, the standard way to do this would be to do it as kind of a line chart here, right? You have the projected line, you have the actual line. The advantage is that you can see both the patterns and you can see the gap. And, you know, maybe I put some lines here or fill this in a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to try this version over here on the left. So what this is really a connected scatter plot. And I'm just using made up data here, so which is always problematic because you never know if things are going to work out when you try with made up data and then convert it, you know, add real data. But what I've done here is I have a line that shows when projected equals the actual, right? So it's a connected scatter plot. So I have actual spending on the horizontal axis and projected spending on the vertical axis. And so anytime you're not on that 45-degree line, so I've set up as a square, so it's 45-degree line, the project is going to be equal to actual. And so when you're not on that 45-degree line, in the top triangle, the projection is greater than the actual spending, and in the gray box, gray triangle on the bottom, projected is less than the actual. And I've added a little couple of, you know, text boxes here and here to actually, you know, give you a little bit of more framing. But again, you know, part of the challenge here is getting to the point that, you know, the difference is really what's meaningful. I think the differences is what's meaningful, but we want to show the difference and the level, and that's really challenging. And so I put another little chart below this, a little bar chart, so that you can see which, you know, where you have the positive and the negative. But again, real problem here is that I'm not sure everybody knows how to read a connected scatter plot. And so while they can look at this line chart and sort of know instinctively and immediately how to read it, do they get to see this changing relationship? Maybe it's just clear. Maybe I'm just trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. I don't know. I also tried it as more of a rectangle, but I think I like that 45-degree as opposed to this, you know, more spread out like this. I shared a couple of these versions out on Twitter and got some great feedback from folks. Micah Blake McCurdy wrote in, you know, sort of doing the shading technique. So you can see right in here with the shading, you know, you've got the red when the, you know, above and below, and then you've got the black shading. So a nice version here. Pat Wu sent me a note that did something similar where shading in the different areas. So the blue area and the red area, and then marking the changes. This is an interesting approach of just marking those events of when they flip from, you know, positive to negative, when the difference is positive and negative. And then Sean McMim, sent me this visualization that's really a dot plot. This is not one that Sean is working on. He, you know, tweeted to me later. This isn't his. He just grabbed this. But another way to show this is more of a dot plot. I go back and forth here a little bit. I kind of feel like maybe the line chart's actually better than this because I want to see the connection of the white dots, and then I don't really know. So I'm not sold on this one, but I do like this shading approach here. And so maybe there's a combination of shading in here. Maybe I shouldn't have done this whole area and just shaded in the areas here. So maybe a connected scatter plot combined with this shading approach would be a better way to do it. I don't really know, but it's worth criticizing my own work, and it's worth criticizing your own work when you are trying to create something, especially trying to create something new. So here I'm not sold that trying a connected scatter plot is actually anything better than the standard line chart, but worth trying and worth playing around with and seeing if there is a better way. So experimentation is always fun when it comes to data visualization. So I encourage you to try your own experimentation and test out your own variations on your own work. So this is John Schwabish from PolicyViz. Hope you enjoyed that critique. See you next time.